Okay, well, welcome to a full review Friday, Brickheads. We are going to talk to you about some Lego today. I am really excited because the Lego set we're talking about is none other than the Lego Magic of Disney. So let's just get right into it. I have talked a lot about this set in the previous podcasts that I've done, and for good reason. This set, Lego 21352, the Lego Magic of Disney, came out on October 1st, and it was a day one buy for me. I just really liked it. I thought the pictures, the images made it look really cool. I think it's well-known fact that I am a huge Lego Ideas fan, and so I just didn't think you could go wrong with it. And so I bought it. I love it, and I built it. And it is a great set. If you like Lego Disney, this is it's a fantastic set. Now, it is a little smaller than I thought it would be, but I'm going to get into that in a second. I want to go over and just give you a full rundown of the set itself, little description of the set, things I like, things I don't like, and then at the end, I'm going to give you my full rating on the set, and that will include the display ability, the playability, the build experience, and the value, which will give you an overall rating for what I think this set is worth, and more importantly, if it's worth your money. So let's just get into it. Like I said, this is set 21352. This is a Lego Ideas set. It's the number 60th, so the 60th Lego Ideas approved set out on shelves. It was designed by Miss Anna Chin. She is an engineer specialist out of Hong Kong. There's a little blurb about her that you can read in the instruction manual, and I just think she did a really good job. Now, granted, this set itself, which if you're watching it, if you're tuning in on YouTube, thank you for watching. I have the set up, so if you want to see a good visual of it, check me out on YouTube. You can find it at the Imagination Brick Shop. But yeah, she did a good job. The set itself is different than her original submission. So just going over what the released set is first. The Lego designer, the person who actually did this release set, is Marina Stampoli. So you might not know her as a Lego designer, but she is responsible for the UK telephone, which is a really cool Lego idea set that came out earlier this year, as well as the Lego Milky Way Galaxy. So I don't personally own the Milky Way Galaxy. That sounds funny when I say it out loud, but it is a cool looking set, and I know people really like that. That's part of the Lego art set. So a couple really good names in there. Like I said, this is her final design, and Anna Chin, she's going to get 1% of the revenue of this, which I think is really nice. If you don't know much about Lego Ideas, let me just tell you real quick. Again, it's sets that are fan-generated sets. They go through an approval process at the Lego Ideas website. If they are able to get 10,000 votes within a period of a year, then that set goes to Lego for approval. And so they have a review session. In fact, there's going to be a review session coming up here pretty quick with about 30 to 35 Lego sets. And they usually pick one or two each review session. And this is one that got picked. And when it gets picked, like I say, they get 1% of the net revenue of the set. And so we don't really know what that amounts to in dollar amounts, but I have read articles where that say, like the guy who did the Lego Ideas bird set, he said he made enough money to buy himself a nice car. Not like a Maserati or something, but my guess is something that was a decent car. So if you think about this from that standpoint, they're probably walking away with maybe $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for a set like this. If it sells well, maybe they could get about 50 grand out of it. I don't know. I don't think we ever get to know because they have a clause in there where I think they aren't allowed to talk about how much money they're actually earning from this. But anyway, this is Anna Chin's set. It measures 7.5 inches high. It's 10.5 inches wide and 6.5 inches deep. So it is the perfect size for a shelf next to your books or next to your Lego DVDs, next to your Disney DVDs, or just any shelf where you just want to display it. So also, I think it's worth noting that this is the 8th Lego Ideas set released in 2024. In the last 3 years, Lego Ideas has really ramped up, and they've released 8 to 9 sets every single year. And in fact, there's 7 more that have actually been approved that are just not out on shelves yet. So I just think that's kind of interesting. But this set retailed for $100. It, like I say, went out on October 1st, and it's just really, really cute. It's got a load of minifigs. It's got Geppetto, Lilo from Lilo and Stitch. It's got Belle, which this is the first time we get Belle in minifigure form, which I just think is awesome. I believe her face print is a reprint, but just to have Belle in minifigure form versus mini doll form, I think is fantastic. And we also have Bruno from Encanto, so that's really nice to have as well. I don't think anybody asked for Bruno, but here we are. There's also 3 animals. There is a Lego Simba, which is a rehash of I think it's like a Friends tiger or something, and now they've done instead a Simba print on it. Simba looks really good, as well as Flounder and Sebastian from The Little Mermaid. So that's your minifig lineup, which I think is interesting, and I think was ultimately a better choice, because in the original Lego Ideas submission, the whole minifigure lineup was completely different. Instead of Geppetto, we had Pinocchio. Instead of Flounder and Sebastian, they were brick built, and they included an Ariel. Belle was there, which was cool, but they also had Aladdin with Aladdin's carpet, and instead of Lilo, they did Stitch, but we already have a Lego minifig Stitch, so I'm really happy that they went with Lilo. And then, of course, there was an Elsa, because Elsa gets included with everything. But if you know anything about this, we already have a Lego Pinocchio. We have a Lego Jiminy Cricket, so to get Geppetto really kind of completes the collection. Lilo and Stitch now, which is great. And so it's just nice to see a set where you can get a wide range of minifigs that haven't already been officially released. So I really, really like that. So super glad that they did that. The one thing they did not do is this set was approved back in 2023. And if you've been collecting Lego for the last couple of years, you know that Disney has been doing the 100 Years of Disney theme. And the original submission actually on the Mickey Mouse itself had a 100 across his chest. And he had a big smile too. And so the smile is gone. I think it was cheaper to not do the way they did the pieces on the smile, and they took out the 100. I don't think that's a huge deal, but it's definitely something that I think is not quite as good as the original. They did, however, make sure that it stayed the Lego Phantasmic Mickey Mouse, which is Sorcerer Mickey. So he does have a printed hat, 2 printed Lego pieces that make up his Sorcerer hat, which are by far the coolest printed pieces on this set. We've got the brooms carrying the buckets full of water, and the water is pouring down the stairs as the brooms are walking down, which is really nice, which kind of goes into the overall theme of this versus how she designed it. The final design has waves going out. So not only do you get the waves that would represent Flounder and Sebastian and Geppetto on his raft, that's, when he's out trying to rescue Pinocchio, but you really get the waves too of Sorcerer Mickey, who's getting overcome by all the water from the brooms. So really, really good homage of what they're doing there with the waves. I just really, really like it. In front of that, you've got the 3 micro scale builds. You've got Simba, who's standing out there on Pride Rock. You've got Belle, which is the centerpiece, and she is standing next to the rose in the glass case. And that rose piece, I want to point out, is an entirely new mold. I think it's the only new mold on this set, and it just looks really, really good. It's done in I want to say chrome red is the best way I can describe it. And then behind her, you get a lovely, it almost looks like the the wardrobe part, but instead there is a trans clear piece that has a printed rose on it, like the stained glass window. And behind that, the bricks are actually those light blue. It's not really trans clear, it's that cloudy blue brick. And so the light actually shines through to the rose itself, which is really neat. And then last but not least, you got Bruno standing in front of Casa Madrigal. And that's done in micro scale, which I don't think is bad at all. It really does look like Casa Madrigal. And he's got his little rat friend, and then you can actually change Bruno's head and turn it around to give him those crazy green eyes when he's taken over by his, I'll call it your superpower, I guess. And then all of that just comes together to give you this big, really fancy diorama of totally separate movies, but totally done in a way where it feels very cohesive. It's bright, it's colorful, but it's not overwhelming. It's the perfect balance, and I just absolutely love it. Like I say, it really, Anna, you did a good job. And honestly, the designer, Marina, did a fantastic job too in bringing this to life. So, couple other things I want to point out. I'm always a big fan of color use, and I did say this is a really bright, really colorful set. And one of the things that I really like about it is it's called light nougat. But if you don't know what that color is, basically it's like a flesh color. And Mickey's face is done in that light nougat flesh color. And I want to say there's like 7 new pieces. They're not new molds, but they're new elements that are done in that light nougat, which really is cool for people who like to do their own mocks, their own creations, where it gives you some more options if you want to do things that need a flesh color versus just your bright yellow to represent your traditional minifig. So I really like that. Other things that I like, the brooms. The brooms actually, their arms are skeleton arms. How cool is that? It's not just skeleton arms, but the skeleton arms that are redone in the brown. And I know that doesn't seem like much, but we've always had the white skeleton arms. Now you've got the skeleton arms that are done in brown, which I think opens up some more possibilities too. I just like it when Lego reimagines an element in a really nice, useful new color. And so they do that here. And then as far as total printed pieces, not including your minifigs, I want to say we've got 5 new printed minifigs. So that's nice. Those are the positives. Lots of positives about this set. Real quick, I think it's important that we do the negatives. Things that I don't think are necessarily as strong as this set. First, its size. It is slightly too small. So, and coming in at 1,103 pieces, I don't know. I guess I was expecting it to be maybe an inch or two bigger. I think it really seems very compact. And I know when you look at pictures, clearly you should know the size that it is, and it gives you the measurements and all that. But I don't know, sometimes when they show pictures of something, it just seems bigger than it is, right? And so I wish maybe it could have been a hair bigger, but I definitely think the $100 price point is really, really good price point to stay at. And this puts this at about 9.1 cents a piece. So I definitely wouldn't have wanted to spend more money on this, but I wish it could have been slightly larger. Speaking of things that are slightly larger than I think they need to be, are Mickey's ears. That's another area that is probably the weakest part of the build, is Mickey's ears themselves, the way they connect. It makes it a little, it's not a great connection point, and the ears end up coming off the hat a little bit more strange than I think it did in the design itself. So I wish they would have stuck with the original design as far as Mickey's ears go. What I do love that they did, and I forgot to mention this, is there's a great Easter egg. If you actually pull Mickey's red sorcerer pieces away from him, the side, the part that goes down his side, is actually a little Easter egg done in Woody from Toy Story. So it's got the color scheme of Woody's, from his boots to his pants to his fancy top. It's just really cool and something you wouldn't know unless you actually are building this set. So moving on from there, a couple other things that I think could have been a little bit better. As far as playability goes, really not much playability in this. Obviously, you've got the micro scale part of it. You've got the minifigs, Geppetto's raft, as well as Lilo's surfboard, and she's surfing. That does get to move a little bit. Mickey's hands can definitely move a little bit, but it's really more for posability than playability. So if you could have somehow made it so it's a little bit more playable, that would have been kind of cool. So, but yeah, I think that's really, looking at it holistically, that's what I got for you as far as the description and my loves and my not so loves. Do I think you should go out to get it? Absolutely. So I think before I end it, I want to end off with, like I told you, I want to do 4 components of how I rate this set. 1, build experience. For the build experience, I would give this an 8 out of 10. It is small, but it is mighty. And I think it is worth an 8 out of 10, definitely. I love that they do the Easter eggs. The build experience itself is definitely a varied experience. You're doing lots of different things. Even in the micro build section, it's 3 entirely different scenes. Mickey is fun to build. The brooms were cute. Even the waves were fun and how it all came together. So as far as building this went, it went super fast. Like, I think I did it in one sitting just because I was enjoying it that much. It did not feel tedious at all. So playability, I kind of commented on that on my negatives. Playability, I would actually give this a 6 out of 10. It's just, like I say, it's when you look at this, you know it's not really meant to be a set that you're going to play with as much as you're going to display it. So definitely playability is where it gets its lowest marks. Where it gets its highest marks, however, is displayability. I give that an 8.5 out of 10. I think it probably could have pushed it to a 9 had it been a little bit bigger. I don't know if we can get past the 9 just based on not only the size, but you would probably have had to add more micro scenes to me, or maybe include something that kind of makes it bigger and bolder to me. I think in this day and age with Lego, an 1,100 piece set, it is going to be hard to get it past a 9. It's going to be hard to make it to a perfect 10 out of 10 in my book, just based on what they can do nowadays. So, but this is a solid 8.5. I love having it on the shelf. I love actually putting it right next to the villains icon set. I think they just kind of match perfectly with each other. You get the positive and the negative, but all in one fun Disney shelf. So, and then finally the value. As I said, it clocks in about 9.1 cents per piece, and it's at $100. For Lego in 2024, I would call this a licensed theme because it's Disney, even though it's Lego Ideas. It's a pretty good price. You're not anytime you go below 10 cents nowadays, it's a pretty decent price, especially when you're talking about a licensed theme. Now, if this was a creator 3-in-1, $80 maybe, like you could get it down to 8 cents per piece, but for something like Disney, to get it at 9.1, I think is not bad. But overall, like I say, would I buy this? Absolutely. As I told you many times, to me, this is a day one purchase, and I think you should go out and get it too. Definitely still in stock. If you're watching this now here mid-October, I was looking at lego.com and it's still there available. I think you're probably going to be able to find this on the shelves at Target too, because they've got a lot there as well. But anyway, that's my deep dive. If you want to see more of this set being built or a different visual breakdown of the review, you can certainly check it out on my YouTube page. I will have a speed build as well as a review of this set coming out. I believe tomorrow is when you can check that out. So, but with that, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let you just think about it yourself. Go check it out. Look at the pictures, see what you think. Leave me a comment below. Are you as excited about this set as I am? Are you a big Disney fan like I am? Or is this just a hard pass for you because you're busy looking at the Fortnite sets that just came out, or maybe you're gunning for the Lego Star Wars sets? Don't worry. We'll review some Star Wars next week. But until then, I just want to say I appreciate you for either watching. I definitely appreciate you for listening. And until then, I'll catch you on the next one. How it's supposed to